everyone, this is me, Dusty Circuit here, and today we're picking up with our mission that's been going on for the last couple of videos. My my Matt Lown inspired giant diving ship, which has completed its mission, but is in this is in this orbit over the moon Noira of the Symmetra system, and they are currently basically almost out of fuel, and they're thus stranded there. And so what I'm going to be doing in this video is I'm going to be sending a ship to rescue all of my Kerbals from this ship and then bring them back home to Kerbin. So this is going to be the ship that I'm going to be using to rescue my mission, and it's basically the same craft that I first sent to the Symmetra system to visit Neureg and Neureg and Norik, but with the changes that it no longer has the payload intended to bring and intended to send the Kerbals to, or intended to land on Neureg and Norik, because this is only a rescue ship. But I have added this command pod that can seat one Kerbal to the side, because this large command pod only has room for 7 Kerbals and we have to rescue 8. So I have this separate reentry pod on the side that's gonna go return to Kerbin separately from the main pod. And I've changed the engine it was from this engine to this one, because this one has more specific impulse and thus is more efficient, which should give us more delta V for this given amount of fuel. And I've ran into enough issues with the boil off of the cryogenic fuel tanks that I've decided to just remove that feature completely. And you can do that by there's this file, I forget which folder it's in, but it's part of the it's with the cryotanks mod, and it's a DLL file called, I think it's called Simple Boil Off. And well, if you want to disable that feature entirely, you just remove that file. It's just as simple as that. And while I don't want to completely disable that feature, it's for the sake of realism, I got that having to be something that I have to design my ships around. I've ran into just enough problems with it, I've ran into so many issues with it, basically causing me to lose a lot of my fuel during time warps, that it's I found it to be much more trouble than it's worth. So I feel like maybe I'll just continue on my playing without that feature, unless there's a way to have it enabled without because it's the main ways around it is either you time warp at lower time warp speed, or you time warp in the tracking station. And then I but a couple videos ago I tried this like this patch that like allows the boil off to be handled through the system heat mod as opposed to the way it does it normally, which is basically you through electric charge, and instead it does it through the radiators, like from the system for the system heat mod. But I've found that version to be even more trouble than the than the stock method. So I've just decided to. I've just decided to just disable the boil off entirely because I've found there seems to be no way around it other than just do all your time warping within the tracking station, which I've just found makes my missions harder than they should be. So, I mean, if anyone who's watching knows of any other ways to, I guess, mitigate the boil off, other than just outright disabling it, feel free to comment about it. But I've just found if this is gonna make the game easier for me than it has been, then I think it's worth it. So I think we're ready to launch this rocket now. Yeah, liquid hydrogen fuel is basically free at Sarnas if you have this ram scoop. Well, looks like we're gonna do this, but I think it's gonna be fine. Okay, just now to get an encounter with the wormhole. And now we're in the Kerbals system. And already on an escape trajectory from Sarah. Okay, now we just have to get an encounter with the Symmetra system. And also, like, within the correct directions, so we actually get into an orbit like where like Noira is, which means we'll have to come in from retrograde as opposed to prograde. Okay, it looks like we're already in the perfect trajectory. Okay, we have our encounter with Noira. Okay, now we have to do is get an encounter with our mothership, and then transfer all the Kerbals and the science we got to the ship. Okay, now we have to use come in for an encounter. Well, we are in an encounter, but actually getting closer so our Kerbals can more comfortably spacewalk between the two ships. Oh, and by the way, those are the electrothermal RCS looks like. It's pretty neat. They're pretty interesting. Okay, now it's time for all of our Kerbals to do their spacewalking. And I'll have him EVA so he can actually move all the science from this part. Okay, we got all of our Kerbals off of that ship. But, I don't know, maybe let's have a little bit of fun with it before we, depart the rescue ship. I guess this is gonna survive, yeah. Which I guess makes sense for that part. But, yes, let's go back to the rescue ship now. Alright, so let's leave Noira and get back on a course with the wormhole. Okay, we have our encounter with the wormhole. It's around Sarah. And once again, this is going to be a retrograde encounter, but this time we should have enough fuel to deal with whatever crazy trajectory we end up with at the other side. Okay, so, wow. So, I think we don't really have much choice other than to just ride that until we get back to the periapsis. I mean, I still have like 12 kilometers per second of delta V left, but kind of don't really want to take the chance unless we don't have them if we don't have to. You know, at least doing that, I can flatten out our trajectory. Yeah, I think we'll just ride this out. Hopefully our Kerbals don't mind being like another 25 years in space. We're almost to Erlem's orbit. keep saying, I keep pronouncing it Eurolum, but I've seen Bogue pronounce it Erlum, so I guess, I don't know if I want to keep pronouncing it my way, or I don't know. I think there's just no way going around it. We may have to do another orbit. At least do this. Needs to make that time a bit more reasonable. Oh, I'll take that. It seems like we're gonna come pretty quick with our trajectory, but I'm fairly confident we'll have enough fuel to slow down. Unlike with some certain other missions. And there's the Mun. Okay, here we are. We're back home now. Think I'll have our small pod re-enter first. Then have the mothership turn around so it can get back in orbit. While this pod re-enters. Yeah, I have no idea why I can't control him. Okay, hopefully as we hit the atmosphere, it's gonna turn us around the right way. There we go. Okay, let's recover him. Okay, now it's time for this the rest of the ship to return. So I'm gonna move everyone that is in the gravity ring into the main command pod. Okay, everyone's in the pod. And then now we deorbit. And then now we just decouple from the pod from the rest of the ship. Then we undock from that. I think I'll probably leave this in normal speed. So I don't know if we can catch the parts of the ship exploding or not. That's interesting. Apparently, like the probe actually skipped, the back of the ship actually is skipping out of the atmosphere. And that's the front of the ship, and that's actually going to crash into the surface. Okay, let's, I guess we'll recover this vessel. I guess maybe to end the video, I'll switch to this guy, which I think is like what's left of the back of the ship. Oh, that's interesting. The engine actually survived that from this one radiator. Okay. So that brings an end to that mission. With all Kerbals returning home safely, well, except for that one that perished in the flight through Seta's atmosphere. But he thought they will return. I guess probably around in the next a few missions or so. But anyway, thank you all for watching. This has been me, Dusty Circuit, here with another Kerbal Space Program video. If you liked what you saw, remember to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to see my next videos, just hit the bell for notifications. And peace out. Bye.